folks. Just want to talk to you about retirement, a very common topic that I get asked lots of questions about, and in particular, what are some of the retirement blunders that I've seen over the years? Well, probably some of the key ones are, firstly, not starting young enough. The reality is you should almost start planning for retirement the moment you enter the workforce. Now, that might seem a little bit crazy, and particularly for someone like me who doesn't really believe in retirement in the conventional sense. I believe that as a Christian I should run my race for Jesus right to the very end, and so that doesn't mean just hang up your boots and retiring. That said, there's the physical reality that most of us will exit the workforce once we get to a certain point where we're not able to physically cope, and that's why we need to start planning for retirement so that we can be not a burden on the government or on our families. So starting young is really important to that. The second thing is not understanding longevity. The fact is, these days we live longer thanks to medical science. People are living these days well often into their 90s, and so your retirement could be 20 or 30 years. If you look back 100 years ago, most people only lived 5 years beyond retirement, or if they even retired at all. Many people just worked until they dropped, and so longevity wasn't an issue. But these days it's a big issue where you might be retired for 20 or 30 years. So you need to have that long term in mind. And I always say to people, you want to know what your target capital is. So how much money do you need to retire on? And of course, there's lots of great online calculators that can help you work that out. But the main thing is, have a proper plan, know where you need to get to, and start as young as you can. Those couple of things are really important. And the last one, I often see people who, most of their working life, they live in a big city, and then they want to retire somewhere far away. They want to retire, have a tree change or a sea change, and they want to move up near the beach, or they want to move into the countryside. But the problem with those sort of things, they're fine in theory, but often you're away from family, away from church, away from everything you know and love, away from healthcare, and so all these things. So one of the blunders I see is people wanting to downsize, move to cheaper areas that are far away from everything they know and love, and it makes for a potentially very lonely retirement. So just be really careful when you think about these things. And as I say, plan for retirement, even though you may not plan on it, in the sense you might want to, keep working, or you feel called to do other things, but at least make sure you prepare for it financially. So anyway, hope that helps. God bless. Have a great day.